Xie Jin was shocked. He is not a fool. Buying and selling from Yiming is profitable, but it is definitely difficult to last. With the expansion of the sales scale, Yiming will soon an in-person deal with the parties and kick him out of the middleman. Now Yiming proposes to give 10% of the transaction amount as a reward, and he can't wait for it, so he said without hesitation, "Since Yishang is so refreshing, I'd rather respect him than obey him." After speaking, he waved his hand and the woman named Shu Lingshuan came. Xie Jindao said, "Lingshuan is my little sister, with good qualifications and smart people. In the future, she will stay with Brother Yi to help. Brother Yi can ask her to do anything." Shu Ling declared a blessing and said, "Brother Yi, the younger girl is willing to be a cow and a horse, in return for Brother Yi's life-saving grace." Yiming felt that 80% of Xie Jin sent Shu Lingshuan to have other ideas. However, he didn't care, as long as he could earn money steadily, and there was one more person and one less person around him. What's the difference? Xie Jin said at this time, "I still have a business here. Tai Chingman wants to buy 100 5-star warships. If the price is too high, I quote more." Yiming smiled and asked, "Oh, I don't know what quote Xie gave." Xie Jin flushed, saying, "The 5-star warship is quoted at 112,200 days level spirits." Yiming Xin said that you are quite dark, and the price is almost half. He said calmly, "The price is good, it looks like I have lowered the price before." Yiming nodded. Brother Xie made sense. "I will prepare 100 5-star warships as soon as possible, and I can deliver them tomorrow. You can let Tai Chingman prepare the money. At this time tomorrow, you will pay the money and deliver it by hand." Xie Jin said, "Okay, I am still waiting for Brother Yi tomorrow." Yiming waved his hands smartly and walked away. After walking away, he couldn't help but, laughed and said, "This money is too easy to make. With money, everything is easy to do." Bei Ming. The master should build a palace on the land of gods and demons and set up some masters. Yiming said, "This thing is easy to handle. As long as you have money, you can move as many gods as possible." Next, Yiming notified Xiao Jing, let her send a message to Ma Shanchao, and ordered her to buy 500 5-star battleships, 56 star battleships, 5 7-star battleships, and 1 8-star battleship. Ma Shanchao was directing the soldiers to control the warship. After getting the news, people were scared and asked indefinitely, "Does the Lord really want to buy so much?" Cardinal Yi Tianan delivered the letter, and he nodded. The deputy leader did say so. Ma Shanchao bit his finger and said, 7-star battleships sell for 600 million long-lived coins, 8-star battleships sell for 9 billion long-lived coins. If you add 5-star battleships and 6-star battleships, the total price is 16 billion longevity coin. Quote. Yi Tianan was shocked and said, "So expensive. 16 billion. I don't know if the associate bishop can take out so much money." Ma Shanchao smiled bitterly. "Before the deputy bishop left, he left me 20 billion long-lived coins." Looked at him with a strange expression, and said, "The deputy leader really trusts." Ma Shanchao glanced at each other. "Do you think I will leave with this money?" Yi Tianan shook his head. "Of course you don't. If you dare to do this, I guarantee that you will not live for 3 days." Ma Shanchao snorted. "The protagonist is proficient in man-to-people skills. He looks good on me, and I will not do that." After that, he sighed again, apparently taking out 16 billion yuan at a time. It really hurt. Yi Tianan seems to know Yiming better than Ma Shanchao, saying, "You can rest assured that in a few days, the associate bishop will give you more money." Ma Shanchao said for a moment, "How do you say this?" Yi Tianan laughed. "You don't know the ability of the vice chairman at all in terms of making money. I think he is the first person in the Tianyuan continent. According to those who have returned before, the host is now in another big world. Now he has bought it many battleships, the intention is self-evident." Quote. Ma Shanchao's eyes lightened. "Do you mean that the owner is selling warships?" "Yes, it's true," Yi Tianan said. "If it is, the profit must be very amazing." With the modification of the vice chairman, you will make twice as much. Ma Shanchao swallowed and said, if this is the case, it will be too easy for the protagonist to make money. Yi Tianan laughed. This is a great thing. Money can buy resources. As long as there is enough money, we can train a lot of masters in Haoshan education. By then, it is not difficult to unite Tianyuan. Ma Tianchao was told by Yi Tianan that he had the bottom of his heart and immediately contacted the war civilization and set the war required by Yi Ming. The action over there was quick, and someone was sent there that afternoon. Yi Ming waited for a long time, and Xiao Jing heard the news, saying that all the warships had been delivered. Yi Ming immediately gave an order, saying that he would send 100 5-star warships. At the same time, he set up a teleportation team twice to welcome people. Since there were hundreds of warships escorted this time, Xiao Jing sent 12 gods to come. This time, Yi Ming did not let the 12 people leave, but ordered them to stay on the land of the demon for a long time to help him build a long-lived temple. The next day, he found Xie Jin in his old place. Xie Jin said nothing nonsense, and took him directly to Taichingmen. Although Yi Ming has been to the demon continent, he still entered the large martial arts such as Taichingmen for the first time. In his perception, the scale of Taichingmen should not be weaker than the 9 sacred sites, second only to the 4 gods of the heaven and earth. In particular, the master of the Taiching gate is the power of the Changsheng realm, and it is clear that the power of the Changsheng in the gate is more than that. The master of Taichingmen was born with a fairy-like bone and long beards. He looked only 30 or 40 years old, but in fact, he had lived 1,000 years old. Although Yi Ming's show was not high, the host of Taiching was very polite, and he led the masters to welcome him. If you come here, you will be far away and forgive me. Lao Yuan, Yi Ming heard the voice of the other party. The other side is so unframed that it does not act as a self-proclaimed person. Yi Ming hurriedly offered his hand. Yi Ming Yi, I've met the host of Taiching. Host of Taiching smiled, hee, and said, Friend Yi is polite, my husband is 1 or 3. I've seen Senior Yang. Yi Ming laughed. The seniors are arrogant and elegant, and they are worthy of the eternal life. If the younger generations have read correctly, the elders are already the eternal life. Yang San smiled slightly. Small friendly eyesight, I broke through to the 5 realms 100 years ago. Ming. Since it is the origin of immortal Tao, why should the predecessors cultivate Shinto? Yang Yisan sighed. Without concealing ye friends, the immortal heritage of the demon continent is incomplete and cannot support us to cultivate into immortals at all. Yi Ming thought that if there was an opportunity and the other party offered an appropriate bid, it would be possible to impart the San Qing Zhengfa to the other party. During the conversation, Yang 1 or 3 invited Yi Ming to the Taiching Hall, where the elders of the Taiching Gate were all present. Yi Ming looked around and found that in addition to Yang Yisan, there were at least 3 people who were powerful in longevity. Yi Xiaoyu, I wonder if the battleship brought it. Yang Yisan said, seemingly impatient. Yi Ming, the battleship can be delivered at any time. I don't know the price. Is the owner still satisfied? Yang Yisan smiled. Hee, Xie Jin has negotiated the price, but I still hope to get another 1 or 2. Yi Ming laughed. Everyone is doing business for the first time, so let's be natural. The original price was 112 million per 5-star warship. In this way, I erased the odds and charged you 110 million. How is it? Yang Yisan was obviously not very satisfied, but it was okay to lose 2 million. He nodded. Okay, 110 million, just 110 million. After that, he relaxedly a storage pocket was handed to Yi Ming. Yi Ming took it and took a look. There were 111 billion 2-day mixed yuan spirit stones in his pocket. He smiled, put away the bag, and said, I brought the battleship, please look over. After that, with a wave of his sleeves, 100 palm-sized battleships were suspended in midair. Subsequently, he gave the manipulators and the manipulative tokens to the others' hands. These warships are simple to operate, and Yang Yisan easily learned. Just listening to the sound of boom, 100 huge warships were quietly suspended above Taichingmen. Each of these warships possesses the power of the ***** class, which can concentrate the power of the weak ones. It can be said that with them, the strength of Taichingmen greatly increased. Okay. Very good. Yang Yisun manipulated for a while, nodded again and again, very satisfied. Yi Xiaoyu, do you still have a stronger warship in your hands? He asked suddenly. Yi Ming had been prepared for a long time. He knew that forces such as Taichingmen would not be limited to 5-star warships, and they would have higher demand. Yang Yisun said, are you capable of bombarding the powerful warship of longevity? Do you have one? Yi Ming thought for a while and said, the 7-star battleship can bombard the Changsheng 3-strength powerhouse. The 8-star battleship can bombard the Changsheng 6-strength powerhouse. The 9-star battleship can bombard the Changsheng 9-strength powerhouse. I do and know where the door is one. Yang Yishen Shuiliang said, even if the 9 realms of Changsheng are, the demon gods here are the strongest in the 6 realms of Changsheng, so the 8-star battleship is enough. Yi Ming said lightly, 8-star battleships are extremely expensive. Even if they are 20% off, they will need 45 billion long-term coins. Yang Yisun was silent for a moment, and said, 45 billion long-lived coins, which are 315 billion today mixed yuan lingxi. The price is indeed a bit high. Yi Ming was really afraid that the other party couldn't afford it, saying, I have always been honest in my business. Taichingmen can pay in installments and does not charge interest. Can it be paid in installments? Yang Yisun breathed a sigh of relief. If we give Taichingmen 10 years, we can afford this debt. Yi Ming. 10 years is okay. However, the first batch of warship money, Taichingmen support more than half. Yang Yisun. There is no problem with this. We are willing to pay 16 million 2-day spiritual stones in advance. The remaining 15 million will be paid off in 10 years and 1.5 million a year. Yi Ming smiled. In this case, if it is convenient, please pay the 16 million first. No accident, the 8-star battleship will be available tomorrow. Yang nodded 1 or 3 times, yes. He actually believed in Yi Ming very much, and ordered someone to prepare for Lingxi on the spot. Yi Ming did not feel how bold and generous Yang Sunyi was. He has the power of a longevity like him, and he has some unspeakable prophet's ability. He must be sure that Yi Ming cannot rely on his account, otherwise he will not casually put 1,060 billion 2-day spirit stones were delivered to him. In fact, the more you become a more advanced person, the more sincere you are, and the less you will be deceived, otherwise how can you find a way? Yang was very polite, and ordered Yi Ming to be prepared, while Xie Jin and others accompanied him. As a martial artist, Yi Ming should have had no status, but because he was able to provide warships, he was regarded as a distinguished guest by the people of Shandao, so almost everyone with a head and a face came out to accompany the guests. During the meal, Niang 1 or 3 was also very kind and toasted again and again. Although I have been to the demon continent before, this is the first time I have eaten here. The dishes of the devil's continent are of their own, and Yi Ming eats it very well. The wine is also good wine, not worse than the god of his collection, and even worse. At this feast, he drank a lot, and there was a hint of drunkenness on his face. Brother Yi, Yang Yisun has begun to call Yi Ming brother and brother, thank you very much. Originally, our Shandao can't restore the end of the demise, who knows that you were born out of nowhere and brought us a battleship. With battleships, we can protect ourselves and even defeat. Regain our lost territory. Although Yi Ming was a little drunk, his mind was very clear, and he asked, did Shandao never contact the outside world? Yang Yisong sighed. Never. The environment of the demon continent is harsh, but the environment outside the sky may not be better than here. Besides, our strength is limited and we are reluctant to communicate with the outside world so as not to lead the wolf into the room. Having said that, he asked with a smile, Brother Yi, shouldn't you be a demon continent? Yi Ming nodded. I am really not. This is the second time I have entered your world. What's the outside world like? Yang asked 1 or 3, apparently full of curiosity. Yi Ming thought about it. There are many big worlds that attack each other. Each big world also has its own troubles. For example, my big world is experiencing war and I don't know how long it will last. And, in the big world, there is still a demon who lives in the 9 realms, and will soon wake up. Once he wakes up, he will devour more than half of humanity. Yang Yisen's face changed greatly, and he said, are the 9 realms of longevity? That's really terrible. Nowadays, our demon continent can be regarded as Anshang. Yi Ming sighed. Yeah, the scenery outside may not be better than the home. If it wasn't for capturing the demon soul, I wouldn't be here again. Capturing the demon soul? What did Yi want the devil soul to do? Yang Yisen asked curiously. In his opinion, the devil soul was of little value, and it was everywhere on the demon land. Yi Ming did not tell the truth, but said, the high-end demon soul is worth some money. I want to catch some for sale. Yang asked 1 or 3 times, oh, you can still sell money, but I don't know the price. Yi Ming felt that Yang Yisen was interested. He moved in his heart and said, the demon soul at the level of French heaven can at least sell 1 million long-lived coins. Yang Yisen was startled. 1 million long-lived coins. So expensive. Yi Ming nodded. Yes, if the level is higher, it can even sell for tens of millions, such as those in the Law Heaven and 9 levels. Yang Yisen and the elders in the gate looked at each other, and suddenly smiled and asked, I am too clean and has a long history. I am very good at the distribution and capture of the demon soul. I wonder if Brother Yi needs help. Yi Mingxin said, waiting for you, saying, of course you can. Just so, you can catch the demon soul and sell it directly to yourself to offset the 150 billion 2 billion debts in the next 10 years. How? Yang Yi was thrilled, and he even said, yes, yes. I just don't know, how many demons does Yi need? Yi Ming didn't know how many demons he needed. He felt that there were 10 or 8 high-end demons, and he said, it depends on the outside market. If the market is good, the more the better, the better. The market is not good, so buy less. Yang Yisen thought for a while and said, Taichingmen has dealt with the demon souls over the years, and knows several places where the powerful demon souls live. The demon souls in these places add up, there are 20 or 30, and we will catch them. Yi Ming thought in his mind that there should not be more than 20 or 30, so it was better to buy them all together, and then nodded immediately, okay, then we will set it in terms of price, I will not let your gate lose. At the banquet, everyone had a good talk, and the 2 parties decided to cooperate for a long time. In the end, Yi Ming felt that everyone's relationship was more harmonious, so he made some small requirements. Yangman Master, now I want to build a palace on the land of gods and demons. I wonder if your gate can provide convenience. Yang Yisen immediately laughed and said, why do we need to build a palace? We have many palaces in Taichingmen. If Brother Yi doesn't dislike it, just use it. Ming laughed. How sorry, this is okay, I will send Gimen an extra 5-star battleship. A 5-star battleship costs tens of millions of long-lived coins, and the cost of a palace is very low. Yang waved his hands again and again. It must be, then Yi would be too bad. Yi Ming laughed. No loss. I also want to ask your gate to build a large defensive array. Yang Yisen thought for a while, and said, the palace is inside my Taichingmen. If there is an invasion of an external enemy, he has his own defensive array. Otherwise, I will build a few small defensive arrays to determine Yi brothers asterisk. Yi Ming said. There is work. Yang Yisen said. Brother Yi is polite. We take advantage. Towards the end of the banquet, 160 billion 2-day mixed Yuanling stones were handed over to Yi Ming. 160 billion 2-day spirit stones can be exchanged for 100 million longevity coins, which is an astronomical figure. He wouldn't have made so much if it weren't for the top 10 mixed yuan spirit stones in the land of gods and monsters. Today's Yi Mingkai is rough and courageous, and laughs. The master of the Yangmen, the reserve of mixed yuanling stones in the demon continent is very high. Taichingmen has a long history. Yang Yangtsen has lived for thousands of years, and he knows the land of gods and demons very well. He said with a smile, the reserves are naturally large. However, on the land of gods and demons, the mixed spirit stone is not the only spirit stone. There are even more precious mixed element secret crystals and French crystals. Quote. Yi Ming's heart leapt wildly. What kind of mystery is the secret crystal? He didn't know how the secret crystal of this demon continent was different from the outside world. Yang Yisan Dao. There are many types of mystic crystals, each of which has a different value. Generally speaking, 1 or 2 mystic crystals can be exchanged for 120 to 10 million 2-day spirit stones. The price of the rule is even more expensive. Fa Jing, the price is tens of billions of 2-day spirit stone. Quote. Yi Mingxin said that it is no wonder that Taichingmen is so rich, that the resources of the demon continent are too rich. It is a pity that the monks here did not get the complete inheritance of Shandao, otherwise they would definitely create a very brilliant Shandao civilization and become an important branch of Shanmen. The demon continent is rich in resources. As long as Taichingmen expands its territory, it will definitely grow and develop, and our future cooperation prospects will be brighter. Yi Ming laughed. He sincerely hoped that Taichingmen would be strong, so that he could buy him more of warships. Yang said with a smile, it's not a secret. As long as there are enough warships, my Taiching Gate will be 10 times stronger and 100 times stronger than before. There are hundreds of billions of 2-day spiritual stones, really nothing. Door time, the entire demon continent is ours. So brother Yi must not worry about our solvency. Quote. Yi Ming was probably born to be an arms dealer, and said quickly, yes. In the future, if you have any needs, you can be on credit, as long as you agree on a repayment date. Is exactly what Yang Yisan wanted, and laughed. Brother is really wonderful, let's just say. Unconsciously, Yi Ming has quietly scaled up his plans for the development of the demon continent. He is not going to participate in the battle here, but sells warships from which he earns huge profits. With money, he can fully support the development of Haotianism, making it the mainstream of the Tianyuan continent. After the banquet, Yang Yisan accompanied Yi Ming to choose a palace. This palace, called the Palace of Meditation, was originally the residence of an elder of the eternal life, but it is now given to Yi Ming. There are hundreds of large and small rooms in the meditation palace. Yi Ming visited it, and was very satisfied. It was settled on the spot. However, he did not want Taichingmen's servants. Instead, he specially dispatched a batch from Tianqun. The accompanying 12 deities were also ordered to keep the house of meditation. Next, Taichingmen set 3 sets of prohibitions inside and outside the meditation palace. The power of the ban is very powerful, and it can block the powerful attack of Changsheng 3 realms. It can also be regarded as very high-end. The money of a battleship is not wasted. Once the prohibition was completed, Yi Ming immediately set out to build a solid teleportation array. A passage was built between the demon continent and the Tianyuan continent, and people there could come at any time. This channel will bring him a lot of money in the future. Within a few days of officially receiving the meditation palace, Yi Ming changed it to Tianyuan Palace. The name of Tianyuan Palace has just been changed. News came from Taichingmen. A master from Taichingmen dispatched. It took a few days to catch 25 high-level demon souls. When Yi Ming saw these demons, they found that they were all sealed in a crystal ball. These crystal asterisk seem to be specially made, with the town demon runes engraved on the surface. They are all the size of a human head and are suspended in the air quietly. Yang Yisan pointed at 25 crystal asterisk and laughed. This arrest went smoothly. Although we fled a few, we captured most of the demon souls. Please look at Yi Yi. Yi Ming took a closer look and found that most of these demon souls had strengths above the 5 realms of law and heaven, and several had the terrifying powers of the 5 heavens and realms of law. He nodded again and said, "Okay, the doorkeeper sets a price." Yang San smiled. "Let's go, 25 demon souls, 150 million long-lived coins." Yi Ming calmly said, "Yes." After speaking, he paid the other party 150 million on the spot. He did not pay the spirit stone, nor did he let the other party pay the debt with the spirit stone, but directly paid the longevity coin. The reason is very simple. For the demon continent, 7 or 2 days of spiritual stones can be exchanged for a longevity coin. Can be outside, less than 2 or 2 days of spirit stone, you can exchange a longevity coin. Under this kind of gap, he is naturally more willing to pay for longevity coins, because the heaven-level mixed yuan spirit stone can exchange more longevity coins outside. In fact, for this kind of exchange ratio, which has a huge gap between inside and outside, he has sprouted a method to make money from it, that is, in the demon continent, exchange longevity coins for heaven-level spirit stones, and then use heaven-level spirit stones to exchange Changsheng coins to the outside world. In doing so, it is also profitable. However, he also understood that such a good thing in making a difference could not last long. With the increase of the demon continent's longevity coins, the exchange ratio will be infinitely close to the outside until it is not profitable. However, before that, he can make a lot of money. On the same day, the warship purchased by Taichingmen was delivered through the teleportation array and was delivered to Yang Yisan in the first time. With so many battleships in Taichingmen, they immediately organized personnel to launch an attack on the realm as soon as possible and expand their territory. On Yi Ming's side, he got 25 demon souls all at once, and soon began to use them to cultivate. In the practice room of the Tianyuan Hall, he sat down, and 25 town magic crystal beads scattered around. He immediately communicated with the immortal tree, and the next moment, a phantom of a small tree appeared above his head, and it found out numerous roots and pierced the 25 demon souls. These roots must be able to devour the power of life. The vitality level of the demon spirit of the law and heaven is high enough. Yi Ming immediately felt that a small amount of vitality was injected into the immortal tree, and the martial arts soul, which was the fruit, also quickly grew and transformed. Mature. Soon, the 25 demon souls were drained of their vitality and turned into dust, and Yi Mingwu's soul was finally completed. At the soul of Wuhan, a divine forbidden is formed, and the divine forbidden ditch is naturally connected with the heavens and the earth, which can drive all kinds of magic. When this divine forbidden came out, Yi Ming's mind shook suddenly, and the connection between heaven and earth became extremely accessible. In his eyes, everything grows and works differently than before, and all have rules to follow. With a slamming sound, Wu Hun's fruit ripened, he broke away from the immortal tree, and fell into Yi Ming's spiritual world. As soon as the Wuhan fell to the ground, it rose into the air and turned into a high-strength Fawahun, full of runes. The sky and the earth are majestic, and the majesty is soaring. The whole body emits a brilliant flame, illuminating the 4-dimensional octopoles, and it can't open your eyes. This mighty martial arts soul is exactly the magic martial arts soul just completed by Yi Ming. It communicates with heaven, connects with the underworld, understands nature, reads the law, possesses incredible power, and has supernatural power. When Yi Ming's Fahu soul was 10%, he opened his eyes immediately. From the outsider's point of view, he seems to have not changed, but in fact, he is no longer the original Yi Ming, and his strength has more than doubled. Bei Ming. Congratulations to the master, congratulations to the master. Now you can practice your spells. Yi Ming smiled slightly and said, everyone said that with the martial art soul as a mage, but I haven't practiced any of the spells, and now some of them are not true. But, how to practice the spells? Bei Ming. Master, the magic comes from the master's own perception. The power of any spell is not under the magic power. Some powerful spells are even more powerful than the ancient magic power. Do you want to feel for yourself? Yi Ming nodded. For a while, he didn't know where to start. He wasn't going to meditate hard, and immediately walked out of the practice room. In the Tianyuan Hall, the 12 gods each performed their duties. Yi Ming called and asked, "How long have I been closed?" The deity said, "The retreat of the deputy is 2 months." Yi Ming nodded, not surprised. Although it didn't feel long, it actually took a long time. He immediately went to visit Yang Yisun, but Yang Yisun was not there. Only a few elders left behind met him. "Yi friend, the master has led the soldiers to attack the monsters, and will be able to return in a few days." The elder ordered the tea to be served, and he was very polite. Yi Ming smiled. It seems that the Yangman master has not been idle for 2 months. I don't know how it works. The elder laughed. Thank you, Yi friends, the sight of Taichingmen has more than doubled, and the disciples have more than doubled. Some scattered repairers saw my strength and bright future in Taichingmen. Come and vote. It won't be long before Taichingmen becomes the biggest force here. Quote. Yi Ming said. A lot of Shandao martial arts have been broken up. This is indeed a good opportunity for you to gather a lot of talents. The elder laughed. Thanks to Yi friends. Yesterday, before the doorkeeper left, he left a word saying that he would buy 2 8-star battleships. Yi Ming had expected that, and nodded. Of course you can. I don't know if this time, whether it is credit or. The elder laughed. The sight of Taichingmen expanded, many new minds were opened, and even a spiritual vein was found. At present, no credit is needed. The money for the 2 battleships can be paid within 6 months. Yi Ming smiled. Of course, half a year is possible. The 8-star battleship still costs 45 billion long-lived coins, which is converted into a heavenly spirit stone, which is 630 billion yuan. The elder nodded. Yes. The host also said that if Yi can get it, they hope to buy a 9-star battleship after 1 year. Yi Ming narrowed his eyes. As the 9-star battleship, the price of a 9-star battleship is as high as 600 billion long-lived coins, I'm afraid. The elder laughed. According to the current trend, 1 year later, the power of my Taichingmen will be 10 times higher than it is now. Even if it is 600 billion yuan, it is nothing. Yi Ming nodded. Okay. Because the 9-star battleship is too expensive, I can't personally give you credit. After 1 year, if your door can pay a deposit, everything is not a problem. Okay, I'll tell the friend Yi's words to the doorkeeper. The elder said. Returning to Tianyuan Hall, Shuling Xuan stepped forward and said softly, Brother Yi, my brother has come to see you several times. Yi Ming smiled. Why, Brother Xie can't hold his breath, afraid that I won't do business with him. Shuling Xuan bowed his head. Xie Jin really had such concerns. Yi Ming now has a close relationship with Taichingmen, and it is entirely possible to set aside Xie Jin and operate independently. Yi Ming, you can rest assured that I have not paid much attention to the income of 10%. Shuling Xuan quickly said. Brother Yi laughed and my brother didn't think so. Brother asked me to give Brother Yi a message. In the future, he only charged half of the cost of the agency, not 10%. Yi Mingxin said that Xie Jin was humorous, and he nodded. Let's go see your brother, then, he must be busy. Leaving Taichingmen, the two went to Xie Jin Station. For Yi Ming, Taichingmen is just his first business. There is more than one force in the Devil Continent, and his business has just begun. As he expected, Xie Jin and others who owned the battleship finally rebuilt Yuqingmen. Today's Yuqing Gate, although it has not yet fully recovered, can rely on the battleship, but also gathered a lot of casual soldiers and brave, with the weather of the year 7 or 8. Because Yuqingmen is newly built, there is not much style in the palace. It seems that Xie Jin has no intention of living here for a long time. As soon as Yi Ming arrived, he led the master to welcome him and said, Brother Yi is finally here. Yi Ming smiled slightly. Congratulations to your brother, Yuqingmen finally rebuilt the mountain gate, and it will definitely surpass the old days. Xie Jin sighed. Take a step and count. Yi Ming had no time to chat with him and asked, During this time, Brother Xie should not be idle. Some Taichingmen gave me propaganda, and there must be many forces wanting to buy my battleship. Xie Jinlian nodded again and again. Yes. Some forces are very eager and even willing to buy warships several times the price. Yi Ming waved his hand. Once the price of the battleship is set, it cannot be changed at will, otherwise my reputation will be ruined. Xie Jin nodded. Brother Yi is a believer. It should be so. During this time, I contacted 37 forces, and they all had a willingness to buy. Yi Ming asked, how many warships do they have? Xie Jin took out a roster, which recorded a certain force, how many warships were needed, and so on. He glanced at it, and it turned out that there were 37 forces. These 37 forces need about 735 star battleships, 54 6-star battleships, 18 7-star battleships, and 4 8-star battleships. Roughly, if you buy so many warships, you will need to invest about 52 billion Chengsheng coins in the early stage. With his current net worth, he doesn't feel struggling. He nodded and said, no problem. 3 days later, the battleship will arrive. Yi Ming nodded. Okay, you go to inform. Tell them that after 3 days, you will pay at one hand and deliver at one hand at Yuqingmen. Xie Jingxing went astray, and Yi Ming immediately returned to the Tianyuan Hall of Taichingmen and returned to the Tianyuan continent through the teleportation array. At Lingzhou, Houshan University, a teleportation flashed through the brilliance, and Yi Ming stepped out of it. He has been here for 3 months, and Houshan has changed a lot. The master is back. Xiao Jing groaned and greeted. Ming nodded and said, call Ma Shanchao. Xiao Jing. Ma Shanchao is leading a war and cannot return for the time being. Remembered that when he left, he handed over the military power to Ma Shanchao, led on his own, and quickly asked, is the Houshan teaching running smoothly during this time? Xiao Jing. Going back to the owner, everything goes well. Ma Shanchao has won the snake nest, turtle nest, and crocodile nest in the 24 and 6 nests, and is now attacking Beizhou, one of the 3 continents. Xiao Jingdao. Ma Shanchao is a genius. He fights eclectically, and is good at vertical and horizontal techniques. Sometimes he can win a country without a single soldier. Yi Ming smiled. I did read him correctly. However, he spends money very quickly. His 4 billion long-lived coins are running low now, and he asked me for money the day before yesterday. I didn't give it to him. It's all spent. Yi Ming laughed. If money can solve the problem, then use the money to solve it. I don't need money now. Xiao Jing. It seems the owner has gained something again. Yi Ming nodded. The money over there is so profitable. I just picked up a big business. After it's done, I can make trillions of longevity coins. Even if Xiao Jing is a god, he has been shocked when he has seen a lot of big worlds, and said, thousands of trillions. Yi Ming nodded. Yeah, even I was surprised. But this is the beginning. I have to make a lot of money. Next, I will use Chengsheng coins to buy a large number of spiritual stones, and then sell them to Tianweishan. Xiao Jing laughed. The improvement of strength depends on resources. As long as you have money, strength is not a problem. However, the master does not have to spend all his energy on making money. He can arrange someone to do it. Arrange someone? Who? Yi Ming asked. Zhang Heng. Xiao Jing said. Zhang Heng is here. Yi Ming was overjoyed. The words did not end. A magnificent man entered the hall, who was not Zhang Heng. Compared to many years ago, Zhang Heng has changed so much now that Yi Ming is actually on him, and he sees a bit of heroic temperament. What made him even more surprised was that Zhang Heng is now the ***** of Fatian Jing. Brother. Zhang Heng was very excited, and flung to the ground to pay respect to Yi Ming. Yi Ming lifted him up and said joyfully, Zhang Heng, just come back. Is it already a god? Amazing. Zhang Heng grinned. The sooner the 3 dead corpses come to the end, the faster the cultivation, and even I didn't expect to be able to advance to the gods so quickly. Yi Ming nodded. This shows that your physique fits well with the 3 dead corpses. Changing to someone else may not be so fast. Then he asked how Zhang Heng had come over the years. Originally, after being driven away by those who were supremely windy, Zhang Hengbian traveled around and actually had 2 adventures, which greatly enhanced his strength. In particular, he entered an ancient tomb in the Age of God, and found a large number of ancient corpses of gods. As a result, he was refined into corpses of gods, which greatly increased his strength. After listening to his past, Yi Ming was very relieved and said, "It's the right time for you to return. I decided to let you do the business on the other side of the demon continent." Zhang Heng asked the situation and was surprised. "Brother, really make such money?" Yi Ming laughed. "That's still fake." Zhang Heng nodded strongly. "Brother, rest assured, leave the business over there to me." Next, while waiting for Ma Shanchao, use the merit plaque to exchange the Yuan Lingxi. With the merit monument, 1 or 2.5 days of mixed Yuanling stone can be exchanged for a longevity coin. All of the 160 billion amphibious stones on his body were exchanged for Chengsheng coins, and about 110 billion Chengsheng coins were in hand. After getting the money, Yi Ming handed over 20 billion yuan to Xiao Jing's hands, as a daily expense of Heoqianzhao, and transferred 80 billion yuan to Ma Shanchao for military expenses and the purchase of warships. Billion was handed over to Zhang Heng, as his capital for doing business. Ma Shanchao of Beizhou, his army was sieged the city, and suddenly someone was sent over to hand over 80 billion yuan to him. Ma Shanchao froze. He spent 4 billion yuan before. He still felt that it was too much and would not be blamed by Yi Ming. But now it seems that he still spends less. The old man is really rich. As soon as the money was received, the news sign shook, and Yi Ming's voice came out. "I need 735 star battleships, 54 6-star battleships, 18 7-star battleships, and 4 8-star battleships. Is there a problem?" Ma Shanchao took a deep breath, and said, "Sir, for such a large order, people in my hometown are afraid to have flowers bloomed. Why is there a problem? And with such a large amount, I can get a discount." Yi Mingyi, there are still discounts. Why didn't you say it earlier? Ma Shanchao scratched his head. We are war civilizations and often do business with major civilizations. The transaction value is tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of warships. It is really difficult to get preferential treatment. Yi Ming nodded. How much discount can we offer this time? It should be 10% off, Ma Shanchao said. If the total can exceed 100 billion, maybe 15% off. Yi Ming, forget it, then 10% off. 10% off. You can do this as soon as possible. Yes, Ma Shanchao ordered. After arranging Ma Shanchao, Yi Ming took Zhang Heng and returned to the demon continent through the teleportation array. Zhang Heng was the first time to visit the demon continent. He was shocked by the environment here and could not help asking, "Brother, if the people of the demon continent can enter the Tianyuan continent, I'm afraid that they would have invaded us already." Zhang Heng, we should take precautions early. Now, Yang Qing, the master of Taiching Gate, hurriedly came to visit him. His face was very met. He said, "Brother Yi, we need a 9-star battleship now." Yi Ming burst into his heart and asked, "What happened? Didn't you say that you won't buy it after 1 year?" Yang Yisan sighed. Where could I have expected that there was such a terrible existence on the land of gods and demons? Then, he explained the situation to Yi Ming in detail. It turned out that the demon continent suddenly appeared a big demon head recently. The strength is so strong that even the 8-star battleship can't hurt him, and the masters such as Yang Yisan were almost killed by it. As for the other Shandao martial arts, a large number of experts have been killed. The big devil is born in human form, is blood red throughout the body, and has a single horn in his head. Brother Yi, please sell it to us as a Class 9 battleship. I will convene all the powers of the longevity realm to urge the 9-star battleship to kill the devil. Yang Yisan said in a pleading tone. Yi Ming sighed. 9-star battleship, up to 600 billion long-lived coins, I personally cannot advance. Yang Yisan said. Please rest assured about the money, this 9-star battleship is our entire Shandao fundraising purchase, not my Taichingman family. Oh, everyone raise money to buy it. Yi Ming's eyes brightened. As long as there is money, the battleship is not a problem, we will arrange it as soon as possible. Yang Yisan Dao. In Shandao, 367 forces, large and small, have raised a total of 540 billion long-lived coins, which is still a short distance from 600 billion. I don't know. Anyway, Yi Ming smiled very boldly, the remaining 60 billion can be returned later. Thank you very much. Brother Yi, rest assured, this account is on the head of Taiching. We can pay it off for up to 1 month. Yang Yisan said quickly, very grateful. On the same day, Yi Ming had 37.80 billion two-day spirit stones in his pocket, and the money would be used to buy the day-class warships. With so many spirit stones, he used merit tablets to directly exchange 252 billion long-lived coins. More than 4.5 times 540 billion. With so much money, Yi Ming immediately took out 480 billion yuan from it and gave it to Ma Shanchao for the purchase of 4 9-star battleships. Ma Shanchao said that the price of the Ninastar battleship is 120 billion yuan per ship, and that it must not be discounted. He must spend this money. Of these 4 warships, 1 was delivered to Taichingmen, and 2 were used by Heo Qianzhao, and he himself would use one of them. The 9-star battleship is not an ordinary battleship. It contains a kingdom of gods, and it can carry a huge martial art on it. With this 9-star battleship, he is not afraid of anyone on the continent, and can come and go freely. In his opinion, living in Taichingmen was not appropriate. The 9-star battleship could not be more convenient. When Yi Ming communicated with Ma Shanchao through a message sign, the latter shocked and said, "How do you buy it again? And there are 4 9-star battleships. That's 480 billion long-lived coins. Generally speaking, only those it's super civilized." Smiled. You just need to tell me if you can. Ma Shanchao said. The output of the 9-star battleship is extremely low. 1 can be built every 3 years, and it is difficult to buy 4 at once. Yi Ming frowned. No. You can get up to 2. Ma Shanchao bit his teeth, the remaining 2 will have to wait a year or 2. Yi Ming sighed. Well, then buy 2. Ma Shanchao continued. The protagonist, there is one more thing. There is a lot of room for upgrading the weapons on the 9-star battleship. Since only 2 are bought, the one used by the protagonist, should you prepare more powerful weapons? Oh, can we upgrade weapons? Can you elaborate more? Yi Ming was interested. He is rich now and doesn't care how much it costs. The more powerful the battleship is, the better. Ma Shanchao said. On the 9-star battleship, the standard configuration includes 1 nebula cannon and 10 silent cannons. I recommend that the owner be equipped with 4 nebula cannons and 20 silent cannons. If it is not bad, it is best to prepare another 100,000. It is a high-level battleship. It goes without saying that the more cannons, the better the more. The nebula cannons are specially designed to deal with the power of Changsheng 9 realms. The price of 1 can reach 40 billion Changsheng coins. The enemies of the 8 realms are a 10 billion long-lived coin. The battleships are the most expensive and usually only equipped with super civilizations. The strength of the high-level battleships is close to those of the Fadian 9 realms. With them, the operation of the ships will be more convenient smooth. Badger sells 10 million long-lived coins. 100,000 badges is a trillion long-lived. Yi Ming almost jumped up and said, 1 trillion. Ma Shanchao. Isn't there RMB 252 billion in the hands of the master? Buying RMB 1 trillion is worth it. Yi Ming figured it out. These additional gadgets are only 136 billion yuan. If you remove the 240 billion yuan of the 2 9-star warships, he will pay 1.6 trillion yuan at one time. Ma Shanchao. Master, even in a super civilization, it is a great thing to have a 9-star battleship. In super civilization, only large forces can own it, but if it is in the Tianyuan continent, a 9-star battleship represents with the hero invincible, crush all forces. Yi Ming said. 9-star warships cannot yet appear in the Tianyuan continent. Because of my strength, I cannot match them. Ma Shanchao laughed. The host really has patience. If it were me, I couldn't help it. Yi Ming said lightly. The 9-star battleship is my killer. I will not let it go until I have to.